Well, hello, and good morning, afternoon type situation. So, I got a new controller and stuff, and also, this is just going to be starting in the middle of the fight, because, well, actually I should clarify, I found my old controller, so it's not exactly like I actually bought another one, because I'm too cheap for that. Actually, if this controller died, I'd probably just quit for several months. But, yeah, the long and short of it is, started doing this, ended up getting very, very, very interrupted. It's a very long story. But, yeah, I had a weird occasion occur. Also, this guy's adorable. He's like, check out my ECMs. I'm gonna totally mess with you. Yeah, you can't block ECM when nobody's friggin' using anything electronic to make this happen. I mean, hell, there's probably just little tiny trebuchets inside each of these different rocket parts. But yeah, I had a really weird thing occur where I was kind of sitting here, and the child is slamming the cabinet doors. Cool. Okay. So what was I getting out of here? Right. So mail shows up. They're like, "Hey, so do you want this package?" I'm like, "Okay, sure, I'll take that package." It's like a thing for my wife. And they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to pay extra." Like, what the hell kind of crap is that? I'm like, well, they just clearly underestimated the postage, so you should just go ahead and make a checkout, or you could just give me cash. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if that was legit, you'd have a card swiper or something. Why would I give you cash? Like, that, it's like random friggin' extortion going on. Alright, Mr. Keepless, not terribly threatening. Just because he keeps just hopping up and down and all that sort of thing. Child, you are just fine. That wonderful phase. Yeah, so you might hear the occasional oh no kind of sounds. Basically, the long and short of that whole situation is Mom is currently not home. Therefore, we have to have a sad. Everyone's had that moment. Alright. Now, he went ahead and busted my kneecaps. That's a bit of an unfortunate time. Yeah, he's not one of the scarier ones, but as per usual, nothing's easier with rockets. They just make everything worse. Actually, with one exception. So recently, I've been going through and replaying bits of Master of Arena. I was discussing that and just kind of had a bit of a nostalgia for it. Rockets mixed with blades are so dang good in that one. Like, it's nonsense how good they can be. And you know what the funny thing is? It's only because of the AoE that they have. Alright. Let me just focus real quick like here. Just get this guy finished off. There we go. Boom. Man, one of my favorite wins ever was where I actually managed to make this moment where there were 4 quad nukes and managed to get them go around to either side of him. So it was a one-shot and managed to blow both of his arms off, which I'm pretty sure I have in the replays, actually. I don't know if I can replay replays from this part. Oh, it's TikTok. It's Warlord. Screw this guy. Let's go ahead and save state it here so we don't have to go through all that again in case I forget to save. Anyway, so what the hell is I getting at? Completely lost track. Of course I lost track. I always lose track. Oh right, this is the a-hole that hovers forever. Oh joy. Plus, he's not terribly threatening. He's just a douche. He's got the swarms, he's got the MGs, and he's got that whole thing. So swarms, yeah, not terribly threatening. If I can bust his kneecaps, that might be an idea. Thing is, I have a feeling this is just going to be a random rush round where I have to wait for him to land, bust his kneecaps, and then just call it a day there. Annoying. That's all this guy is. But yeah, so Master of Arena, right? It's kind of weird. Like, they actually in first gen, rockets actually had an AoE. In fact, they were pretty darn fun to play around with, and it's strange to me that every consecutive time that they ended up releasing them, it just got worse and worse and worse. Like, okay, actually, scratch that. In 4th gen, they had an AoE as well, but that was only for the larges, really. The other ones, it was kind of insignificant, but still. The larges could do a pretty big boom, but yeah, in 1st gen, the mids and larges had a pretty big kaboom to them. And yeah, it's really fun. I don't know why they decided to change that. They weren't any more, any more threatening. They were more fun to play with, which is kind of the point of, a game, so I don't know why they did that, but whatever. There we go, his legs should now be busted. Do I even have the sound on? Should probably have checked that earlier. There we go. Now there's sound on. Who'd have thunk it? Not me, I didn't thunk it any good, sir. Anyway, his legs are busted, he should be just about out of shots. This guy has, like, no ammo to speak of. But he just kind of fires in bursts, fires all over the place, and then he's just done. And then he just does that really annoying thing where it's like, oh, I'm out of shots, but only you have the option to quit. Oh man, I'm so smart. People balance this so well. Man. What an expert thing. I mean, you just feel totally outplayed. It's like, man, they win by absolute technicality, even if you've got an AP lead? Wow. Who would have thunk it? I mean, I certainly felt completely played, I don't know. So outsmarted. So it's kind of annoying. They're gonna have builds that effectively just try to DPS and then just make you quit. Which I guess if there's an AI arena, to some degree that kind of makes sense. It's like, if you're gonna make a thing where it's like, okay, you gotta go fight these things for money, and then I will bet on whether or not you can beat them or not. Just the or not being twice in there for some reason. That's annoying how it's just slightly off. For a number of reasons. Not the least of which is because I'm not hitting him. Yeah, so his turn speed sucks, his DPS sucks, he's done, basically. So, now it's a matter of whether or not I hit him with these last few. But of course he's an AI, so he can adjust his speed at will. And he will, because they do that. And it's a very slight adjustment. There we go. Feels like he's not taking as much damage as he should. You know? I think he's only taking like 400 out of each of these. By the way, if you ever want to just fail one of these just completely right off the bat, always, always, always just go for that whole thing where you decide to suddenly count how many shots you have left based off, just like try to calculate a percentage of how many shots you have left and how many you actually have to hit, and you will never hit any of them. That's the perfect way to always fail at this. So just, yeah. Pro tip and all that. That's how you fail. But anyway, so now that I have a new controller, hopefully that whole auto-purging thing won't end up happening anymore. I'm hoping anyway. It's possible it will still just happen anyway, but I think that was a controller issue because I can never find an emulator issue for it. Like, there were redundant controls, but none of them made any sense in terms of auto-purging left-arm weapons. And actually, speaking of that, I still have that other Javelin arena to do. There we are. He's almost done. Come on. You're just brand stupid now, man. What's the point of this? Oh, now you're stuck with 45. And yeah, if he was stuck with those 45 and I would have run out, still would have won. And yes, I will endlessly harp on that. Because realistically, they should have a timer on these. And yes, sometimes that would be abusable. And you know what else? Don't give a crap, because that would be better. That'd be a flat improvement as far as I'm concerned. Just pop one of those out. This guy flies relatively similar to Mr. Keepless, but he does have that launcher, which he does the old OPI douche. But once that's gone, he's far less threatening. So we're going to go ahead and bust his kneecaps here if possible. This one might take a couple tries to get down, but I'm not too worried about him anyway. Because he is pretty lightweight. As you can probably tell, that thing took a big old chunk out of him. Oh, come on now. Thank you. Not to mention he uses multis, and those are hilariously easy to dodge. Here. Should probably just take a couple larges and then should hopefully bust him up. Ah, child. What are you doing? It's like running along, just, I'm generally upset, kinda. I have no particular gripe, I'm just randomly upset. But then if I were to, like, go pick her up, for example, the immediate response will just be like, I'm somehow upset about this too. It just gets worse. Aw. It broke my head part. I need that for something, I guess. I'm sure I use it for something. I mean, I've been occasionally known to think things. Not very smart things, but things nonetheless. Alright. Mistimed it. Should have fired, made a left turn instead. Did I mention I really, really hate that linear rifle, by the way? Really not a fan of that suit thing. So yeah, this is probably going to take another turn. Basically, if you bust his legs up, this is absolutely no contest, otherwise you gotta deal with that stupid linear. This isn't done yet by any means. It's just, yeah, he can do that same thing where he hovers forever. So you just gotta go and ruin his turn speed. I guess we will just go snipe him out of the air if he's gonna do that. Leave that alone. A little bit higher. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where you can adjust your aim, but they will always be slightly out of it. It's like, you can see every time I move, he's just slightly moving. What a douchey design. It's like, come swat this mosquito. Like, anything with a lockbox is not even slightly threatened by this. It's just annoying and looks real dumb. I guess it could be argued for this guy, it could be argued that it's an AC2 reference. You know, fair enough. For everybody else, though, screw him. It's just so unreasonably cheap. Not even cheap, just dumb. I don't know. There's so many things about LR that I just don't appreciate. This being first and foremost on the list. I always call it the in-your-face AI, but it's just like where they're basically programmed to try and like very specifically know where your lockbox is and avoid it. And again, it's just like one of those things where it's a 10-year-old's logic of what actually consists of something like fair and challenging and whatever else. It's like, oh man, it means they're super smart and they can predict exactly where it is. Like, no. No person or whatever else would ever do that. And they basically assume that they're not going to be able to do something like that because that's something that only, you know, that only a computer with exact knowledge of the other thing's inputs would be able to do. Which is why this feels dumb. Like, if you've ever wondered, like, oh yeah, you know, you're fighting a computer, it's supposed to be harder, but here's the thing, even a computer would be operating under the same logic. Because the only reason that this works is because they have knowledge of your inputs. So nothing would ever be designed to go and function this way, simply because you would never have exact knowledge of the other's inputs. So it's just douchey. It feels horrible. Child, you better put those back right now. Thank you. Now leave it alone, okay? We're gonna leave it alone. Alright. There's one. I don't see this happening. But it's possible. If I get one more on the legs, that should do it. You know, that thing where they fly for like 5 minutes straight and can still overboost? Yeah, that's something an AC can do. Yep, totally legit. Don't know what you're talking about. So fair, you guys. I mean, look at this cool guy. He's so cool right now. Yeah, Mr. Pro Pants. Gosh, such a cool dude. So edgy. 2 edge 5 me. Man, this is so dumb. Get Joe butt on the ground. Yeah, I'm aiming for the right side here. Okay. Guess I could go for a ground aim, see how that works out. Yeah, he doesn't even have any shots left, just for reference. That kinda works. Yeah, the Zenaida, this guy almost does the exact same pattern as Zenaida. Because it's basically like, they're out of shots, so all they do is jump around like an a-hole. Except the same thing applies, that they can't just quit. All this really comes down to is the nerfed ammo counts. Yeah, I almost want to say screw it and just like save state right here and do this until he dies. But then that's not counting for anything either. Although yeah, this is a little bit more reliable way to doing things. Man, screw this guy. Screw him. Screw him with the dang garden hose. Come on, man. Get dead already. Good. Screw you, buddy. Alright, anyway, I'm done here. My kiddo's waking up, so I gotta go. Have a good one. Take care.